So today I'm really excited for us to get into our conversation. We are hosting a mother of a CP warrior or a child who has cerebral palsy, and I'm excited that she's going to share insights into the condition and then basically how parents who have children with these conditions can support their children. So I'm excited to host Ginny with us, who is going to share with us on the condition cerebral palsy. So keep watching. So everybody say hi to Ginny.
Hi.
I am so excited that you accepted to have this conversation with us.
Thanks.
So I know Ginny from way back, senior high school. Yes, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So can you just briefly tell us about yourself, what you do, who you are?
So my name is Ginny or Genevieve. Most people in the working world know me Genevieve.
Okay.
I currently do project and grants management here at the French Embassy. Married and have one son who has cerebral palsy.
Basically, we just want to get into your journey of motherhood and having the honor of mothering a CP warrior, and then just get into, the whole conversation about this subject that is not spoken about often in our society. Briefly tell us about your journey into motherhood, how it was like for you.
Yeah, I was pregnant and I fell sick. I was rushed to the hospital. They thought I was having a miscarriage.
Okay.
I think I was 23 weeks pregnant. I'm not too sure. I have to remember. This was in 2015.
Okay.
So basically, I started throwing up, and so the doctor realized that no, it's not a miscarriage. Like long and short of the story, and I actually had intestinal obstruction.
Okay.
And that's when your intestines are all twisted and muddled up.
Do you know what causes that?
No, actually, it can just happen.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what happened, and then I think I had holes in my intestines, and they were gangrene. That's what the doctors call it. That means they were rotten. But they didn't know all that until they opened me up. So,
Wow.
and when you're pregnant, you can't do a scan. So they kind of went in blind, and they opened me up whilst I was pregnant, and they kind of fixed me. They cut a good length of my intestines off and cleaned my system or whatever they call it. So basically after that, they weren't too sure whether my child would survive or not, whether Giovanni would survive.
Okay.
So I remember every time whenever they come for hospital, like the rounds, they'll be like, have you felt the baby move? And I'm like, why is everybody bothered about the baby moving? It's fine. I'm like, no, he hasn't moved. So they were a bit worried and stuff. I was on a lot of medications, tramadol and all those things.
Wow.
So that can affect the child. Yeah. So basically, aside that, I can't say my pregnancy was very normal, but I was pretty sick throughout the pregnancy. But I gave birth naturally. Yeah, and Giovanni was born.
Wow.
I didn't know how he would come out, but I was willing to take that chance to give him life and just see how it goes. It was a 50-50, weren't too sure whether he would be okay or not. He came out, he seemed okay to me. And what happened?
Before you continue, did the doctors hint you on a possibility that
No, well, they just said, we don't know whether your child will survive or not. And if he does survive, he might be affected. That's basically all I was told. But how he would be affected, I wasn't told. So it was like a risk my husband and I decided to take. And we were happy to have him. And but the moment he came out, he had a very small head. So that was pretty obvious to us, and I think the pediatrician immediately pointed it out. I think 3 days after he was born.
Okay.
Now, what do I see that is different about him? And I was like, he has a pretty small head. His she was like, yes, he has microcephaly.
Okay.
So microcephaly is when your child is born with a small head, small brain.
Okay.
So that means the child's brain will either develop very slowly or not develop at all. That's what Giovanni was initially diagnosed with. But microcephaly can come with other conditions. So that's where he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Yes, so cerebral palsy is it's a condition where it affects movement or muscle tone of an individual. So it's brain damage. Okay, so it's brain damage during, before, or after pregnancy. Cerebral palsy is not entirely genetic as well. It can really happen to any child. It really depends the circumstances of the birth.
Right.
Yeah. So basically he has that, and then he has other conditions that complicate things. And the type of cerebral palsy he has is spastic quadriplegic. And that's the more severe one. Quadriplegic simply means you're affected all 4 limbs. That's quadri, 4.
Right.
And spastic is,
Movement.
yeah, it has to do with movement and shaking.
Okay.
So basically he's completely affected. He has the severe form of cerebral palsy. He's 4 years old now.
Yes,
so
I was watching his birthday video.
yes. He's grown. He's really tall. And yeah, we're taking one day at a time.
Right. Next thing I would like to find out will be the struggles of raising a CP warrior.
Yeah,
Giovanni.
So Gio is a sweetie pie. He's so innocent. So most of the time when he's crying, there's usually an issue.
Okay.
You see some kids, they cry and they just want attention. But with him, really, if he's crying, he's either in pain or uncomfortable or something.
Okay.
It's been a struggle. Not many services are available in Ghana, like therapy. There's physiotherapy, there's occupational therapy, there's speech to some extent, but it's available if you have money, and it doesn't come cheap. So most of we mothers or caregivers, what we do is we train ourselves from YouTube videos or other therapists to do it at home. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's a condition that has its ups and downs. Today can be good, tomorrow is bad. So sometimes he's not well. The way maybe one child will handle a flu, with Giovanni he can be hospitalized. It really depends, because his immune system, kids with cerebral palsy naturally have a weaker immune system than other kids. So if he has a cold, you can't compare it to a regular child that has a cold. So that's one of the struggles. School is another struggle. Thank God he's in a good private school.
Okay.
But not all kids have that access to schools. Ghana has an inclusive education policy. However, that
is it really manifesting on the ground like that?
No, not really. And we have our challenges. I won't lie. We are trying already. We have a policy in place, but it's not inclusive, because when I read the requirements for school, Giovanni just doesn't fall under it, because they are like kids with mild disabilities. Giovanni has a severe disability, and it's from 5 years upwards. So what do others do with their kids between 0 to 5? What do you do with your child? You can't work, you can't put them in a school, and the child must be potty trained. Now, with these requirements, Giovanni does not fit. But luckily for us, we found a private inclusive school that is doing very well with like that. My work has been very considerate.
Wow.
They're very understanding, and I don't take advantage of that. But they've been there for me, and I'm grateful for that.
Speaking of work, so Ginny introduced me to a daycare center for children with cerebral palsy. So I visited the place, and that's where we are donating to this year, this November. When I got there, apparently one parent had left the place. He has 4 kids. 3 don't have any disability or any condition, and then the last child has cerebral palsy, and then the wife of the man has abandoned all 4 kids and left them on the man. And I think he was on leave, so he had time to be at home, but now he has to resume work and he doesn't know what to do with himself. So he came there to ask if Mildred could take the child, but apparently the place is full. And I could feel my struggle, and frustration.
It's really sad because what happens is that there's a lot of stigma in our society when kids with cerebral palsy. People think that they are snakes from the sea and stuff like that because they are like, they change at night or something.
They change like what?
They change into an animal, a snake, because they can't walk. You know, snakes are like this, so they feel like kids with cerebral palsy are also like that, but take this form and try and make you suffer. They are there to make you suffer, so they're like bad omens. So what people do is go and leave them at the beach. So most of the time, you go to the beach and you see kids. If you, you can literally go to the beach in the morning. They leave the child very close to the water and run off.
Oh my God.
So that the water will take the child away. It's a really sad and horrible.
It was my first time hearing of something. It was so weird.
But it's very common in Ghana. So I'm not saying it's good, you know, but I can relate to their frustrations that, you know, like, what do you do?
How do you cope with your life, managing, like, taking care of you?
Like, I mean, Giovanni is like any other child. I think that's what any caregiver or parent with a child with special needs to think. Like, your child is a child first before the condition. Every child with CP is unique, so they need to be treated unique. And I guess another coping mechanism, if you have a good support system, trying to take time off is very important. Even if it means, like, these days I've slowed down. I used to be very active, literally didn't have time for myself, time to do things, and I think I just suddenly crashed. So I became quite depressed, quiet, and to myself, and I realized that didn't help at all. So it's important to do stuff you love, exercise. I started going to the gym now. Rain and other stuff, and busy work, but like going to the gym, do something you love, swimming, get a massage,
do something nice for yourself.
Go for a walk. You know, sometimes when I can't do the gym, I just go for a walk after work in the evenings. I just take a long walk and come back. I don't take my phone or anything. You need to find coping mechanisms. Find other mothers you can relate to and talk to them. I have certain mothers I talk to, you know, like when I'm sad or frustrated. It's so funny, like maybe 3 a.m. you're awake because, I mean, sometimes Giovanni has like insomnia, so he really doesn't sleep at night. So sometimes I'll be awake and then I'll text the mother, I'll be like, hey, are you up? She's like, yes, so I'm like, okay, so how, you know, and we are chatting at 2 a.m. It's crazy. But some way, somehow, the next morning I drink my coffee and I'm fine. For others, it's church. If that works for you, that's fine. You can go to church and get support from there.
The last thing I will ask you is how you think we can empower CP children to have a purpose for life. Because I can't, this whole thing is new to me. I'm just reading so much, researching, and then when I met the children, I actually got to physically engage with them. But one thing that was on my mind the whole time I was just with the kids was what we can do to let them live a life of purpose while they are here. Because I certainly believe there's purpose in everything, of course. Yeah. But with our structures here too, there isn't space and resources that can even help parents to manage this condition for them. So what would you say with regards to parents, helping their special needs kids in general live a purposeful life?
I think in terms of just education and raising awareness. Anytime, for example, a child approaches me and sometimes they're very curious and they're like, he doesn't talk, he doesn't move, why? And then sometimes I try and explain, and then maybe someone will pass a comment like, they don't understand, so they will explain. I want them to understand, even if it's a 5-year-old. I have nephews, and I've explained Gio's condition to them. So when he's having a seizure, for example, my 5-year-old nephew will come and tell me, Auntie Ginny, Giovanni is having a seizure, and he knows how to calm him down and everything. So I think a lot of education needs to be done so that people will stop the stigma, first of all. And then I think still a lot of effort has to be put in for mothers to learn how to cope with their kids and how to give them the best life. If mothers or caregivers can get jobs that they can work from home to earn an income, I think it will help with their it's your fault, I'm not getting a job, I can't do anything, you've held me down, So I think mental health awareness is very important as well. I think people should not be afraid of children with cerebral palsy. Don't be afraid. Yeah.
When I went to the facility, Mildred was telling me that the kids will not speak, but they can hear everything.
They can hear and
they understand
Yeah.
everything.
Don't look down on kids with cerebral palsy. Don't look down on families or mothers of kids with cerebral palsy. Try and be supportive and try and be understanding of their situation, first of all. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Ginny.
You're welcome.